Hello and welcome to week 27, working with professionals and parents. So let's start by having a look at the questions for this week. There's just two questions here. One is from Unit 5 on different schools as organisations, and one is from Unit 4 on equal opportunities, inclusion and diversity. So let's read the Unit 5 question. 5.2.2. Describe the roles of external professionals who may work within a school or college. And 4.2.2, describe the benefits of working with parents and carers and other professionals to support children and young people with special educational needs and disabilities. So we're going to put these two together and we're going to look at the sort of external professionals who would work with special needs children. So as usual, here's the worksheet for this week. Let's start by having a look at that. If you click here, we can have a look at it. So here it is. It's just one sheet, but I think once you start typing into it, you will stretch it a bit. Maybe it'll cover 2 pages by the time you've finished. So let's read it and see. So here are our 2 questions. They're both describe questions. That means you've got to write in full sentences, but you don't really need to explain what they're doing. You just need to give me a description. So the first section, I'm going to ask you to pick 3 different professionals, please, as examples and describe how they would work in a school. So you're going to put, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you've got 8 different people to choose from. Pick 1 in this box, pick 1 for this box, and pick 1 to go in here. Let's see who you can choose from. You could look at educational psychologist, speech therapist, a social worker, maybe a behaviour support teacher that might come in to work with a child with ADHD, the school nurse, a physiotherapist, perhaps a CAMHS counsellor if you're working with a child with mental health, child and adolescent mental health service, or maybe an autism support teacher. So interesting. These are all people that are part of outside agencies but might come in to work with a special needs child. So you've got to pick 3 of these that you're most interested in, put 1 in this box, 1 here and 1 here. We'll go back to Moodle in a minute and see where you can find the information. And then we're going to look at 4.2.2, which asks you to describe the benefits of working with parents, carers and other professionals. So why would you work with everyone together to support SEND children? So I've given you a sentence to start your answer off with. In fact, 1.5 sentences, and then 3 points that you could make. So I've said, working with parents and carers to support SEND children is actually a requirement of the SEND Code of Practice since 2001. Before 2001, and I was teaching before then, we would have a meeting about a child with special needs and we'd just make all the decisions ourselves, the school staff. But from 2001 onwards, by law, you must involve the parents or carers. It's not a problem though, is it? Because there are lots of benefits of working with the different agencies, the school, the other agencies and the parents. So I would like you please to write 3 little paragraphs to answer this question. And here are the headings. Parents can add to the wider knowledge of the child. In fact, who knows that child best? The parents. So it's really important to work with them. Another good reason is that if you work with outside agencies, they can share their professional skills. They might give some training to you as a teaching assistant. They might give you some ideas or strategies. They might also give the parents some training. And the third reason I've given here is that the school, the parents and the professionals can all support each other Working with SEND children is difficult. There are always different problems and challenges, but if all of these people, the school, outside agencies and the parents work together, they can all support each other and make everybody more positive and make it into a better situation to get the best support for the child. Those are your sections. So you've got choosing three different professionals, let's call them, and saying why it's important to work together with parents and professionals as a teaching assistant. Let's go back to Moodle now and see what help I've given you. So in order to write about those three different professionals, I've made you some information sheets here. They link to different websites. I've done one for the social worker. What does the educational psychologist do? A school nurse, a speech therapist, and a physiotherapist. But if you like, you could look for other agencies or other professionals. You could look and see what CAMHS do, mental health. You could look for behaviour support teachers who might work with autistic or children with ADHD. And there is an autism outreach team in Bristol who also work with autistic children. Entirely up to you. Or if maybe you are a parent of a special needs child, if you've worked with a particular agency or a particular professional, please choose one of those as well. Okay, and I've given you a section from the textbook to help with the second question. Why is it important to work together with parents and professionals? So you can go to the textbook. Maybe you could even use this page from the textbook. Let's just have a look. This is what it looks like. You could take a quote from one of these little sections here and put it into this part of your worksheet. For this section, if you've got a link to a particularly good website, put the link in here as well. Show me where you've taken your information from. Okay, and I thought we might like to finish this week by watching TV. This is a great TV programme. If you haven't seen it already, it's got 3 seasons. I've just binge watched it all, and it's about a little boy who's autistic, and that's his mum and his granddad. It's called The A Word, and it gives everything you've been writing about today in a BBC drama from the point of view of the family. So that could be your summer holiday viewing to watch all 3 seasons. Okay, fill in the worksheet and send it to me this week, please.